Hi everybody, my name is Erin McNell and I'm an undergraduate researcher at St. Bonaventure University. Today I'm going to tell you a little bit about an issue which we are concerned with in our lab, and that is the potential negative effects of inadequate water treatment in developing countries. Now, when we go to pour ourselves a glass of water to enjoy on a hot day like today, we expect that it's safe to drink. And this means that we're putting our health in the hands of our local water treatment facilities. And their job is to make sure that the water that we drink is safe. They disinfect it of any potentially harmful bacteria that might be in there. And they do this using chemicals. However, those chemicals may react with substances that are already in the water and form byproducts that can be toxic, and we call these disinfection byproducts. Now, today we're going to start by talking about how exactly these disinfection byproducts are formed, and then we're going to talk about the potentially negative effects of disinfection byproducts, and finally we're going to wrap up our discussion by talking about some ways that we all can help limit their production. Now, as I mentioned before, the main goal of water treatment facilities is to disinfect the water of any harmful bacteria that might be in there. And they do this by using chemicals such as chlorine and bromine. They're pretty common, you've probably heard of them before. And this process is extremely successful in areas which it is implemented. However, these chemicals can react with substances in the water that may have entered by farm runoff, pollution, chemical spills, factories dumping their waste in water sources, and things like that. And they form disinfectant byproducts. These disinfectant byproducts are being studied a little bit. They're kind of a new concept. Some of them have been found to cause cancer, some of them cause diseases and other abnormalities, and some are thought to affect the process in which an egg of a living thing develops into a baby. And our lab focuses specifically on how these disinfectant byproducts affect this growth and development process. Now, I want you to imagine a woman who is an expecting mother. Her name is Rose, and she lives in a country called Wakanda. And Wakanda is slowly developing. It used to suffer greatly from bacteria in the water. They lost a lot of their residents to diarrheal diseases and extreme dehydration. And luckily, Wakanda recently implemented a water treatment facility near where Rose lives. So they are told that the water is disinfected and completely safe to drink. So Rose does just that. She drinks it, she bathes in it, she breathes in its steam when she takes a shower. Little does she know that the chemicals that they're using to disinfect are reacting with pollution in the water in Wakanda and forming disinfectant byproduct number 1. Now, when her baby is born, he has an extremely deformed jaw and an enlarged liver. And this is the importance of regulating water treatment in Wakanda. Now, the case is the same for Kate, who lives in a developing country called Panama. She is also a expecting mother, and she is told that the water is safe, so she drinks it, she bathes in it, etc. Now, when her daughter is born, she has a heart condition in which blood leaks from her circulatory system, and that's really bad. So this is the importance of regulating the water treatment in Our final case is Lucy, and Lucy lives in a developing country called Neverland, which just recently implemented water treatment facilities but does not regulate them. Now, Lucy just recently found out that she was pregnant, but she's told that the water is safe, so she drinks it every time she's in her home. When Lucy's son is born, his stomach and intestines have not formed correctly, so he has extreme difficulty digesting food. And this is the importance of regulating water treatment in Neverland. Now, we talked about fictional characters in fictional countries, but the effects that I described are very, very real. And each of the 3 byproducts mentioned are studied in our lab. Byproduct number 1, which affected Rose, is DCLA, and DCLA has been found to have effect on liver development and jaw development. Byproduct number 2 is DBHBA, and that one affected Kate in Panama, and it has been found to affect circulatory system and heart development. And finally, disinfectant byproduct number 3, which affected Lucy, is called BCHB and is found to affect stomach and liver development. And what else is real? Water disinfection and water treatment is not regulated in many countries, such as India and South Africa and other developing countries. So we don't want babies to be born with these deformities in these areas. So what can we do to help? I'm going to give you three things that we can all do to help. The first one is to limit the amount of pollution that enters drinking water sources in these areas. And we can do this by just spreading awareness about the harmful effects of pollution. Second, we can directly target water treatment facilities and water treatment companies and encourage them to filter the water before it is disinfected, or after it's disinfected, test it for any harmful chemicals that might be inside. And finally, there are a great number of nonprofit organizations that advocate clean drinking water for all, and a lot of them openly accept donations toward the cause. This includes Charity Water, water.org, and there's a bunch of others if you just do a simple internet search. I hope you learned a little bit about disinfectant byproducts. Thank you for your time, and I'd be happy to take any questions at this point.